Well, we're back with the Healing League. Korea, the Asia server with another big tournament. 3,000 and something euros on the line. And now we are in the winner bracket semifinal. We got C8 up against Team Beast Titan. So the Attack on Titan fans are still reigning supreme here. Now, noteworthy is that both of these teams won their first round match. So they find themselves in the winner bracket semifinal right now. I would say that C8 is still a bit favored, just considering the players that they have on their side with Reset, with KCB, Samira, and so on and so forth. But you would definitely make a mistake to count out Team Beast Titan. Over there, Capybara in particular obviously stands out, and these guys are quite strong. So it might be... It could be a curious game. I'm really interested. Obviously, we don't get too many tournaments that are exclusively being held on the Asian server with Chinese and Korean players, so things shift there as well, and we'll see if that has an impact on how the teams are now going to perform here. Noteworthy is that there are no restrictions when it comes to draft. Obviously, on the European side, over the last couple, I would say like 6, 7, 8 months, most tournaments had pre-bans involved, or just simply a rule that you can't pick the same hero more than once within a series. That forces teams to think outside the box a little bit, but of course it also skews things slightly. Now, in this case, we don't have any of that, so you can pick whatever you want. It's just standard drafting. There is no impact onto the next map whenever you ban or pick a hero here. So we're starting things off with Brightwing for Dragonshire. And Dragonshire as a starting map is also quite interesting to me, because it's not something we see all that often on the European side, at least at the starting map. This is also best of 5 series, in case it wasn't quite clear. First round of the winner bracket was best of 3 matches. I believe some of the games that are going to be played in the losers bracket are also best of 3s, but here we have our first best of 5 of the tournament. And speaking of tournaments, by the way, I already announced it the other day, but we have Meta Madness coming up again. So in just a couple of weeks after this tournament, Meta Madness starts Meta Madness number 8, so we've come a long way. And I mention it particularly because for everybody that watches this on YouTube, first of all, move your ass off the couch, like the video, and also subscribe. But more importantly, there will be a link in the description where you can vote what heroes you want to be pre-banned or which hero you don't want to see in the tournament at all. Every single time I run a Meta Madness, the same question pops up. It's always the same thing. People are asking me like, who decided which heroes are banned? Why is this hero not banned? Why did that hero get banned? And at the end of the day, guys, it's up to you. Everybody can vote, so it's a community thing. The link to the vote will be in the description, and you can jump in. You don't have to be a sub, you don't have to be a member of the channel. You can just go in and cast your vote of which hero you do not want to see. So if you haven't heard about this yet, if you haven't checked it out, if you haven't voted yet, this is your chance to do it right now. But back to the Healing League. So they call it a league, but essentially it's a tournament. It's a double elimination system with 8 teams. We already went over this in the first round, of course. But now we got Genji and we have Diablo. And Capybara's Diablo is pretty well known, so I am already interested to see what he can pull off on Dragonshire in game number 1. And this could definitely be a close one. On the one hand, I'm a little bit scared that C8 just comes out swinging, you know, and just shows that they are the dominant force here to be reckoned with. But then again, when we're looking at the red team, they definitely have the tools to push them to the limit. And who knows, maybe they can even cause a bit of an upset there as well. Now, Reset playing Anduin right now. We got Johanna at the front line together with Blaze. So a pretty heavy front line for the blue team. And a lot of CC just with Jojo, her slows, the slows from Blaze, the stuns that come through all of them. Then you have Hanzo. So there's tons of CC that's currently being brought in by C8. And on the other hand, we get Junkrat and we get Leoric now for Team Beast Titan. Names obviously translated also over from the original Korean. That's why some of the other team names that we're getting later sound a bit more funny to the Western ear. But it leaves us with the final pick here on Dragonshire. So now that we're heading over into game number 1, the final pick on map number 1 for C8. They still need a bit more damage, and they go straight up for Cassia. Stage is set. Let's go. Game number 1, everybody. Best of 5. Winner bracket semifinal between Team Beast Titan and C8. Game number 1. On the left side, we got C8 with Samira on Blaze. We got Huao Yao on Cassia. I can't do Chinese names. I'm very sorry. If you announce it to me and I can hear it, then I can try and repeat it. But at least when I read it, it's not going to be a thing. So we're actually going to go a little bit easy on player names here. But we got Johanna, we got Anduin, and we got Hanzo. So double damage dealer for them. We have that front line that I talked about during the draft. And on the other side, for Team Beast Titan, we get Diablo, played by Capybara, with Leoric on the side lane. Junkrat and Genji together with Brightwing to round out the draft here. And honestly, looking at at Genji and Brightwing, it's kind of a little bit reminiscent of the HGC days when you would play that combo to go for Swift Strike and then Emerald wins for isolation plays. Now, obviously, you don't see that all that often these days anymore. It's always about Blink Heal pretty much, and very few teams will take Emerald win. Every now and then we get a pick into it, but it is very, very rare nowadays compared to the Blink Heal picks on that hero. And also, if you combo anything with Genji, it's most of the time Anduin and you're looking for some light bomb engage. So that's usually what happens there instead. Cassia has decided to not go for any stacking. We see her with the charged strikes here on level 1. When it comes to talent choices, nothing too insane. Soul Shield for Diablo currently on level 1, so definitely something that is noteworthy here. And as the blue team is already roaming around a bit, trying to not only go for their own camp, but maybe set something up at the bot lane, we get the even-handed blessings for Anduin. I can't really help myself. Every single time that I read this name, the only thing that I can think about is that it's a bit of a cheeky joke, and instead of like Anduin's even-handed blessings sound a bit like this. So when I hear even-handed blessings, my mind immediately leaps to that. Somebody's getting slapped here. Usually it's Anduin, but I think this is his way of expressing some wishful thinking, hoping that he's going to be the one to just dish out the slaps this time, but not really happening. Now, either way, with level 4 finally in, Brightwing is getting disgusting again and just spits around everywhere. We get the magic spit, we have the ghastly reach, and this particular combo of talents is actually fairly common now for the Leoric players that I've so far seen in this tournament. Now, I mention it because when you look over to the European and just the Western side in general, it's not really the most popular combo when it comes to the 1-2 talent for Leoric. It doesn't mean that it doesn't get played, but when you think about Needle Peasants, when you think about Paralyzing Rage, and even on level 1, Austin's Renewal, you have a little bit more talent diversity on this, so that we've now seen this combo several times already makes it look like this is the go-to for on the Asian server, at least when it comes to talent choices. So I'm a bit curious to see Leo pop up a bit more often to judge if that's actually a thing, that they are exclusively going for these 2 talents, or if it's just something that certain players that we covered up to now prefer. That being said though, still a fight over the first Dragon Knight. No kills thus far. This could change at the bottom of the map now, and it does. What? Hanzo is able to get out. Anduin with the big boy plays here, saving the Overwatch hero. And he went pretty close to the edge on this one. So yeah, Hanzo gets saved. Pretty impressive, I got to admit. But that was clutch. And the fight is not over yet, so they're still trying to control the bot lane here. Capybara also insanely low and has to half back, so the blue team, they take control over the bot lane. Nothing to be done about this, at least for now, from the perspective of Team Beast Titan. And thanks to Blaze taking the top, this is causing a bit of a problem. Cassia is moving into the middle, but obviously she's way too late. Leo has already started to retake top shrine, and therefore no problem for them just now. But as the situation continues, down at the bottom of the map, there's another attempt by the red team to retake control and maybe go for the first objective. Capybara with a nice good wall stun on Diablo. There's nothing they can really follow up on yet, but thanks to Junkrat, they also have a bit more zone control that they're currently trying to execute here. Brightwing already coming in for an additional heal, but the rotation from Cassia down to the bottom of the map is also happening. So very, very fluid game that we have right now. A continuous battle over the bot lane control, with Leoric retaking the top shrine, and that puts both the shrines into the hands of Team Beast Titan. So for the first time, they actually have double control, and there's the kill. This time, This time Anduin can't do anything about it. And the heal is there, saving Diablo for a moment. But he falls eventually. So yeah, we are definitely in for a tight game. I mean, this is gonna get a bit bonkers. Anduin now gets taken out by Genji, but Junkrat falls half a second later. They're getting absolutely disgusting over here. Brightwing, nice poly. Barely saving herself, but Cassia is still alive. These fights are sick. They've been fighting over that bot lane for so long now. And yeah, it's been crazy. 2 kills to 2, a slight advantage for Team Beast Titan, and they are bringing it. They really do. There was a chance to take the Dragonite maybe for Genji. He went down to the bottom of the map to help out. And now both teams look for level 10 abilities, and of course still that first objective. We have 5.5 minutes in now. And they are getting ready for another fight, with the small exception that the red team is going for their camp. So this will really help Leoric at the top lane, but it also forces them to give up control at the bottom of the map for just a moment. So this shrine has already been taken. Now the camps are underway, and now that the rotation is hitting the bot lane, this is a really big opportunity for Team Beast Titan to get some additional control. Leo is going to have a blast at the top, will push for structures and the wall, and should be able to reclaim that shrine. So as long as they're holding the bottom of the map, they might even walk away with the first objective. Double control for just a second. Riptire now being used too. We have again the bubble, by the way, so once again they're going for the words. This is a bit of a thing now. This is the second time that we've seen Anduin here with the ult, and well, he didn't even have an opportunity to take it. Goes down instantly. And that is 4 kills to 2, and Team Beast Titan now with objective number 1. Not quite. But yeah, the situation is unfolding quite nicely for them. So Genji, he's not going to be able to do anything here, but now that Diablo arrives, they're 2v1ing Cassia and take her out. Nicely done, well played. That's 5 kills to 2, and Dragon Knight number 1. Well done. So, down at the bottom of the map, another camp has been claimed, so they can attack now on 2 lanes simultaneously. Easy wall to be destroyed at the bottom of the map, which is what they're doing right here. And then at the same time, we have them still in the middle with the Dragonite, just playing around the Dragon's Breath, take the wall down, and now a potential rotation down to the bottom to secure that fort. And they should get that, I mean, more or less either way. Iron Skin used by Jojo, fairly early though. But the Dragonite, as you can see, is really aiming for that fort. There's another 30 seconds left, so technically they could... okay, gets burned down. But they have level 13 now. So then level 13, they have an opportunity. Ominous Wraith as the talent for Leoric. And we get Shingan for Genji, so talent advantage for an entire level that they could now try and use, whereas Diablo is speccing full into that Firestorm build here. So, yeah, going full all out on this, with Spell Shield as the only deviation away from it as the level 1 talent, obviously, I mean, duh. So, yeah. And that is a nice position to be in for Team Beast Titan. That was well done. You get a fort, they got a couple of walls out of this, they have a leading experience. So they are doing a fantastic job here, and it also underlines once again how strong Capybara really is with Diablo here. Had a huge part in the way they played this. Riptire, on the other hand, not really too successful for them in that instance. Blessed Shield coming out of from Jojo. So yeah, well done by her. And in the meantime, they're even trying to steal the opponent's camp away, but level 13 is now ready for C8. And yep, with that, they might just be willing to take that battle. But they give it up. They just let them take the Siege Giant camp, and the pressure is still mounting up from Team Beast Titan. They do the best that they can here. At this point in time, we got 26,000 for Junkrat, 32,000 for Hanzo. Anduin died twice already. And, well, Capybara only once. Obviously, still with full stacks on his souls. Died one time, but if he goes down again, then he'll be back quickly. And their lead actually extended. They are closing in on level 16. They're more than a level ahead now, so they extended that lead slightly. And Genji is now pushing the bottom of the map out a bit, takes those minion waves out, needs to join the team though if they really want to take that fight. It's a 5 versus 4 currently, Genji on his way, but even in the 5 versus 4, C8 just can't get that kill, can they? Capybara is able to get away, Anduin with the bubble, doesn't get interrupted, has to stop it though, and half a level until 16 puts C8 in a real awkward position because they want to fight now before the opponent runs the talent advantage over them, but they just can't, and they're losing the fight. They're losing the battle. Reset is about to go down too, so it's not only Jojo that bites the dust here, but Anduin is also dead. Both of the blondies go down, and that means that with another kill against Blaze, they can push that bot lane even further. So really nicely done by Team Beast Titan. They have the top lane where they need to be a bit careful. So that's one problem that they have. There's too many camps there, but there's so much space and time for them now to do damage at the bottom of the map. The wall has already been eliminated. They have the level 16 advantage. And thanks to the Siege Giants, they're getting damage in on those keeps as well. So the idea would of course be to go for another Dragon Knight now too. Junkrat is already taking the bottom of the map. They should send Leo top, and that's what they're doing right here, with everybody else being ready in the middle. But the problem for them is that C8 is back in force on the map, so it's a bit unlikely that they can get this one for free. But they're running a 2-level advantage and a talent lead over the opponent's team. So there's a huge opportunity now for sure. Blaze splitting off and going to the top. And they're not even forcing this. Instead, they have 2 heroes over at the camp trying to take this. Now with Genji moving in, only Brightwing and Junkrat, the ones that are a bit more mobile, are going for it. But here comes the Dragon Knight. So without level 16, C8 was not willing to take this. They were not willing to go into that fight. But as is, we have the push coming in. They're going again for the fort here, trying to take it out. 16 nearly there for the defenders. But it is Team Beast Titan that is now marching to try and get not only another kill. Arrow against Diablo. That might actually just have saved Cassia. If that arrow doesn't hit Diablo and he gets the connect with Cassia, she gets bullied around a bit and dies. But they kept her alive. Now they have level 16. Anduin turns into the Pullout King with a second charge of the Leap of Faith. The question still remains though, can they go for a keep? Dragon Knight in the middle of the map is playing as usual around the Dragon's Breath heavily, is trying to attack over here, and both keeps have now taken damage, but they haven't really been able to force the issue on either one of them. In addition to all of these attacks though, at the top lane there's a camp that is moving in for the fort, so every lane is under attack. C8 is in real trouble and they know it too. They're trying to defend here, they're trying to do something about it, but it's the tricky situation for them to be in. They're really pinned down in their own base. Blaze now up at the top to prevent the fort from falling, but that opens up a bit more wiggle room at the bottom, which is immediately being used by Team Beast Titan to go for that keep. They want that keep and they're getting closer and closer to locking it in. The bubble from Anduin, once again, he uses his words. He has all the words. He has the best words, as we know. And, well, there's the arrow straight into the face of Diablo, and that marks the end of the Lord of Terror. Bit unfortunate considering, I mean, this one was extremely close. Top fort also nearly gone. Genji actually going straight over and saying, you know what, I might still be able to take this one. He needs the healing globe first though if he wants to make another move for it, and decides that he's just escorting the minions in, so nothing really to be done about it for now. They are still in a good spot. That's undeniable, of course. 46,000 damage from Junkrat. We get Hanzo with 55k. He's the top damage dealer in the game. The problem for the blue team is that level 20 talent, because once that they have a talent advantage, I would expect that they're going straight in for it. Anduin doesn't stand a chance here. The Crybaby goes down, and he's not going to be the only one. Cassia gets focused next. They go for the double kill. Capybara in the thick of things as usual, jumping forward and starting to take them down here. Leo holding on to the top lane. Genji at the bottom. They already saw that coming, but it doesn't change the fact that he gets the destruction of the keep secured. So one keep down now for C8. And guys, Team Beast Titan, they are crushing this. Absolutely fantastic decision making on the macro level in particular. This all started with them grabbing a Dragon Knight as they were the only team to lock in their camp. They gave up a bit of ground at the bottom fight for control over the Shrine to get a camp at the top. Made it much easier for Leoric to win the lane against Blaze. And then they took the fight at the bottom and were able to go for the first DK. And since then they picked up another 2? No, actually this would be the second after that they pick up. So they got a second one earlier, this would be the third in total. And now that they have level 20, they can easily take Jojo down. And this looks very, very much like it's the beginning of the end. Johanna down, we have 11 kills, 2-3 right now, and they are on their way to potential victory. Not YOLOing it too hard, by the way, so they're not going straight in for the core, they go for keep first, and that is the second one that they take down. It's 4 defenders currently that they have to deal with, and the Dragonite gets burned down very quickly, but there's a big opportunity now to go for the core, now that they cleaned up 2 lanes. And Jojo is still down for another 20 seconds. And of course, it doesn't even talk about the extra talent that they have, their Storm talent that they're currently running. But they seem to be totally willing to move back here. Damn! We're only 15 minutes into the game, so they've been aggressive from the start. But yeah, they are just moving away from it. They're just saying, alright, we got time. Those catapults are going to hurt them. We have more control. We haven't lost a single fort yet, so there's going to be continuous pressure. Really safe play from them. Didn't want to throw, didn't want to YOLO, and they're totally willing to let the opponent get level 20. So they're playing it a lot slower than a lot of other teams would, which would try and go for it immediately. But instead, they're now looking for another chance to get a kill, but they just barely can't connect with the Entomb. The Buried Alive does not hit, and that means that they won't be able to lock another kill in this situation. They have full control over the map, on the other hand. They're still taking camps, they're waiting for the next objective. As long as there's no level 20 talent for C8, there's very little that can be done by the blue team, and they know it too. They're pinned down in their base, they're totally comfortable with that situation. I mean, maybe not totally comfortable, but they're totally fine with it for now because they know they need to get their Storm talents first. That's what they're working for at this point, and here they are. So they have level 20 as well. Fortified Bunker gets instantly locked in. We get the Blinded by the Light from Johanna, and in addition for that also Sensor and the Infinite Lightning. So, party time. Even fights from here on out. From here on out, even battles, even fights. It's just the lane situation that is very different. Anduin gets caught and, well, is able to get away. Fortified Bunker was dropped nearly instantaneously. Hellgate, and they get him again. Anduin is dead, and the rest of the team is on the run. There's nobody to save them anymore. Cassia falls. That's a 5 versus 3, and with KCB about to die on Jojo, very likely they are going for core, and why wouldn't they? 5 versus 2 situation on the map. They even kill Hanzo. That leaves only Blaze. No chance for him to defend this. And our best of 5 series starts with a victory for Team Beast Titan. They were absolutely beasting it in the first game here on Dragonshire, and a very well-deserved victory with 15 kills, 2-3. Dominant performance by the red team as they lock in the W in map number 1 here in the winner bracket semi-final.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Team Beast Titan, victory in game number 1. I already said that I'm looking forward to Capybara and his Diablo plays, and I think he chipped in 64,000 damage by himself there towards the end, so pretty impressive performance by him, and very impressive performance by his team, generally speaking. I personally had coming into this picked C8 as the favorite, but whew, that was a spicy start into the series for Team Beast Titan, so very well done. Now we're going into Tomb of the Spider Queen as our second map, and kind of intrigued. I want to see how the blue team responds now to this. I personally think they didn't really... I mean, they got their butt kicked a bit. At the beginning, it was honestly insanely close, and then slowly but steadily, you know, it snowballed and avalanched away from C8. but some very nice decisions were made there for sure. Good teamfight control first of all, but also on the macro level, very good decisions made by Team Beast Titan. Vala banned again. That's, by the way, another thing that is very typical for games played on the Asian server, that Vala just gets the axe. So this is something that we're going to see a lot, and if not banned, she will be picked very, very early and with high priority. That's definitely one of the differences when you're looking at the European or the Western meta and you look over to what's happening on the Asia server. We get Junkrat as our first pick for Tomb, so very good interrupt against anything that where you want to chip in some gems, where you want to get rid of them, where you're going for the objective. So that's already going to be a very annoying force to deal with. And of course you can just play zoning, really play around those corridors in particular, and those choke points. Hanzo and Blaze. This is another map where now that Jojo is banned, you could also go for Diablo. So if Capybara wanted, he could just go for Dibbles again. But essentially what they also need is, of course, wave clear. I mean, it's Tomb of the Spider Queen after all, so you need something here to clear those waves quickly and then start or continue the rotation. One thing, by the way, that you also might want to look at when you're comparing the bans of what you're seeing on the European side and what you're seeing now here is that Lucio is being led through pretty regularly. And here he gets picked, but he's not really early ban material from the Asian, in the Asian tournaments, but instead he gets chosen a fair amount. So it's kind of interesting to see that, considering that we have him mostly banned whenever you're looking at a Western tournament. Dehaka still, so they're going to play with a global that they can use to join those team fights quickly. But that leaves us also with a lot of choices. And again, I have to highlight it. These are normal draft rules. So no shenanigans going on with pre-bans or any other limitations. I gotta throw it out there because it feels like the last 3 or 4 tournaments that we had on the Western server all had special rules to deal with to make things a little bit more interesting for the audience and also for the players. But this in and of itself is interesting just by the fact that it's a normal tournament with normal pick and ban rules. So yeah. And talking about bans, Sylvanas is banned, Tracer is banned. So that leaves Sylvanas would have been nice, yeah. Get that push going with Web Weavers and Sylvanas is always quite sweet, but yeah, not right now. Double pick for the blue team. And we get Brightwing and we get Diablo. I would not have minded to see Capybara with Diablo again, but KCB, he's going to showcase his own Lord of Terror right now. I will see what he can pull off with him. But yeah. Well, let's go. Let's see what we're seeing from the red team. I can't help it, but every single time these days when I see Diablo being picked, immediately my mind jumps to Diablo 4. And then I want to go for a typical Khaldor rand again. So I really have to, you know, keep it in. and not go for it again. Tigers then Malthael. That means we are gonna get the Haka main tank? Is Capybara gonna play Malthael here, or do they swap the hero over? Okay. Didn't see that coming. But color me intrigued. After the victory in game number 1, apparently they're confident in this. So let's see what we're gonna get on the final one. It is my F, Tomb of the Spider Queen, everybody. Game on, second map in the best of 5 series here at the winner bracket semifinal. Off we go, game number 2. We get Maiev and Diablo. There's a lot of combos that could be executed by C8 in order to give them a victory on map number 2. A nice tether into a Blaze stun, for example, would be quite nice for them as well. Brightwing as their healer and Hanzo as the only real damage dealer for now. Whereas over on the right side, Team Beast Titan has indeed swapped heroes around. Capybara with the main tank Dehaka. And now we have Malthael for the bot lane. So this is an interesting lineup that they're running here now. Dehaka as a main tank is not something that we've seen all that often, but let's see if they're successful with this. They go up against a very heavy front line, a lot of CC that is being played by C8 as well. So I'm intrigued, I'm curious. For Malthael we get Fear the Reaper on level 1. Great song, by the way, too. And we get the dash for Tychus. This could be a really interesting game now. Capybara, instead of picking early Diablo, who he could have picked for sure. I mean, that was definitely an option. Keep in mind, they picked Dehaka and then decided to not pick Diablo and pick Dehaka as the main tank here. So he connects a lick against Diablo immediately and puts him under pressure. I kind of like that. Now, Dehaka has, of course, also a lot of sustain, but his CC is so much harder to hit than anything that you're seeing from a main tank. So I am very curious how well he can perform with Dehaka as the game continues and how much he is going to contribute in teamfights in particular. But yeah, really cool. Camps immediately focused upon spawning. So on the left side we have Maiev and Brightwing taking over. And even the Siege Giant camp at the bottom of the map is already being eyed, particularly by Team Beast Giant. But the blue team is ready as well. So they get their front line in position for this one. Dehaka could come in if he wanted to. But yeah, who's gonna take it here? They're committing with 4. It's pretty much everybody. Dehaka just went back for a second, but they now claim it. Dehaka didn't even have to come here. So Dehaka already back up at the top lane, but the Siege Giant camp goes to Team Beast Titan. So it seemed for a moment like everybody was totally willing to commit to a big and heavy fight, but then they decided against it, and CA just moved away from it. But now that we have Dehaka up at the top, he could actually escort some minions into the towers. We get on level 4 the Throwing Shade. And also the bigger they are for our boy Taika. So trying to chunk down Diablo as quickly as he can. Now as we just get again souls to the flame. So the build is pretty much the same that Capybara used in the last game. Also echoing the soul shield choice on level 1. And of course also deal a little bit with Malthael here, particularly after level 10. But for now, everybody is just trying to get some gems together, turn a few of them in. Red team has successfully delivered 12. Needs a bit more than that, but since nobody died, they are more or less even. It's just a question of how many of those you can actually secure. Essence gets popped again, so Dehaka just waddling his way in and out of fights in an attempt to help out here. And Junkrat has to be very careful. I mean, it's definitely true that they don't have that heavy of a hit point front line. If you compare this to Diablo and Blaze, and of course this is hugely different. So they have their wave clear and everything, but they also need to be very cautious about the fights that they take and how they play them out. They don't have the same frontline sustain that we're seeing from C8. That's definitely true. They have a lot of mobility on the other hand, particularly with Lucio helping them out here during these fights, and they can poke and also delay, as you can see right here, allowing Malthael to take another wave down, and therefore Blaze is gonna have a harder time now dealing with this. 24 to 10 gems turned in. Blue team is also getting quite diligent about getting this one done, and here comes Dehaka, missing the lick unfortunately for him. So yeah, not able to connect that. Brightwing helping Diablo, but this is not necessarily over. He doesn't have the cooldown for the lick here, but with level 7 we now get the Feeding Frenzy, and we also get the Good Vibrations. Okay. And there's again another lick. Look at that. That man knows how to use his tongue. Yeah, good wall stun though from Diablo as they're trying to turn the fight around. KCB is a bit low. And there he hits another one. Damn, son. That's what I call accuracy. Job well done. And time and time again, they're not able to kill a hero, but they're dropping them low, up to 50% and less. That's also true for Maiev after the tether just came through. And finally he missed one. So a little bit of trivia here. He actually missed that one on purpose to make the other team feel a little bit better. That's just the type of guy he is. So he's intentionally missing every now and then a drag just to make sure that the opponent is not getting too demotivated. What he's trying to do essentially is he wants to make sure that teams will in the future still play against them when he has Dehaka and not give up automatically, just to make this more enjoyable for everyone. So I can appreciate that. So the occasional intentional miss is what we're getting here from him. But yeah, so either way, we have still not seen a kill. We are 5 minutes into the game already. Each team has roughly turned in 25 gems. And now they're all waiting for the first objective, and this could come by level 10 if the pace continues. Another chance at the top, I suppose, to go also for some structures here, but the blue team is setting up to deal with it very quickly too. That bot lane fights, still fairly the same amount of damage on these walls. And with the Haka coming in again, he gets the leg. Dibble's turned in, but he might now die for it. But at least he got the turn in, and he survives too. I actually like this as a play that they're making here. So they're just going in for the stationary target at the turn-in position with the Haka landing his lick, but it was a bit too late. Now Capybara is trying to turn in, which would also give them the first one, but it gets interrupted. So they can't get the Web Weaver wave this quickly. Kind of unlucky for him, but is now trying to do the same thing up here at the top. and time again. He's just sitting there, tongue after tongue. Yeah, he's the one that wants to turn in, but he just can't really. So, fairly unfortunate, and that leads to C8 getting the first turn in for themselves. So, good for the blue team. Level 10 is there, but both teams should have it in time. But definitely now an opportunity for C8 to start taking some of these walls down. Technically, they don't have level 10 yet, but we of course all know that in time, once that those Web Weavers are hitting ground, they will. And just imagine them taking the Haka down with the 35 gems that he has. They do that very early, Odin. Ooh. They really want to take down that Web Weaver quickly. Not wasting any time on this. So yeah, Odin is out. Web Weaver number 1 is going to get destroyed within seconds here. We're going to be able to do too much with this. So yeah, first one is already gone. And just to highlight this real quickly, no last rites for Malthael. Instead, what we're getting from him is the Tormented Souls. I was going to look for these team fights, and there's the kill. Yeah, Diablo is gone. Brightwing is a bit low. The entire team seems to be in trouble here. And here comes Malthael. Brightwing gets murdered. And that's the end of my F. It's a triple, baby. 3 heroes down as they take all of them apart. So, fantastic play. That was a great defense. I mean, they just got 3 kills and they defended against the Web Weavers. It doesn't get much better than that. Diablo, the first one, he had his soul stacks, then Brightwing dies, and a moment later, it is the end of my F. So 3 kills to 0, and now again control on the map for Team Beast Titan. Pretty impressive. Yeah, if they now get their own turn in, and they do, Capybara just turned in, can now easily hearth and then join with his global. But they got Siege Giants, they got their own camp, and now they have Web Weavers coming down. This is a great situation. Not only will they hit level 13 talents in a moment, but they also have now 2 mercenary camps that will push with Web Weavers. If they can get this kill here, if they can take Hanzo out, oh my god, that's 19 gems that are lost to the blue team, and one of their main sources of range damage is now gone. So this is going to hurt. Oh boy, this is gonna hurt. Oh, damn. They have nothing to poke. They have Maiev to just try and cleave with a bit of AoE, but they have absolutely nothing to defend with. And they're going up against mercenary camps and Web Weavers. Fort in the middle, gone. Level 13 talent advantage is there. Bottom fort is going to be destroyed too. And up at the top, they're even trying to go for Maiev. The Haka zones her away. They're going to get every single fort with this attack. Team Beast Titan. They are a bunch of real beasts here. These guys are crushing it. 4 kills to 0. It's not even a kill count. It's honestly just the fact of how they just turned this. They had a great defense, and then just as they're attacking, they take Hanzo out. Without him, there's nothing to be done. And now the first objective, 9 minutes into the game, immediately leads to all 3 forts destroyed. All 3 of them gone. That's glorious. And of course, they denied a couple of gems to C8 as well. Let's not forget about that. They're 40 gems short. 40 gems short. And there's the second turn in. Red Web Weavers, bam, they're back. So now they can start to control the map even further. They are going for the fight here too. And if they steal this camp as well, boy oh boy, that would be problematic. Yeah, well, first they're trying to get the hit. And the Haka is gone. Alright, now they got a little bit too greedy. Yeah. Now they get a bit too greedy. So, that is a bit unlucky. I mean, the good news is that the Haka, once that he's back, can global in again. So there's that. But there is the question of how much can they actually do now with this push. Especially now that Malthael is gone too. Okay, they overstepped for sure now. So, yeah, that's a bit tricky. Now we got 4 kills to 2. Level 15 to level 14. That second Web Weaver wave is honestly not going to do a whole lot anymore for Team Beast Titan. They can try and get some damage in against Diablo, but they shouldn't really be able to get the kill here, even with the help of the Web Weaver. So this was nicely done. It was a good defense from C8. Well played. And of course, the next point is the level 16. But they get my F. Yeah, that is of course worth a lot, because now you're playing a 5 versus 4 again with level 16. And that means it's a freebie on the boss. Nobody's gonna fight for that one. At least I wouldn't expect it. There's at least a turn in. So technically what the blue team could now do is turn in their gems and then trade the boss defense for a Web Weaver defense. So seems like that's what they're trying to do here. Getting rid of the gems and yeah, dealing with the boss that way. So they're trying to just equalize this a little bit. As long as they don't lose a hero now, they're going to be fine. What it allows them to do is to wait until they have their own level 16, so they don't need to deal with this too early. But Web Weavers are definitely going to have an impact. But look at the map, look at the lanes. It's not even that any of these forts are really being attacked, because the lanes are pushed out so heavily and aggressively that there's nothing to be done here. And Maiev is, clutching out an escape that could have ended with her falling. So, yeah. But again, with that, we have at the top, the wall opened up, bit of damage on the keep. Web Weavers haven't done anything. The entire map still fully under the control of Team Beast Titan. Looking very, very strong here. And with that, is of course just simply the question of what else can now be done by Team Beast Titan to maintain that control. It's a 1.5 level lead that they're running, so once they get level 20, they will have another talent lead. But until then, I suspect that we're going to see a few more fights happening. Blue team is already starting to look for some, because they would love nothing more than being able to fight a bit here. So, yeah. And over on the right side, yep, there we're going to get the next camp claimed. Outside of the siege tank camp at the bottom of the map, this is the only one that's up. And the blue team is already ready for it. So he's right there. We have now 5 kills to 2. And not a lot of opportunities on the map, but with 56 gems in the hands of Team Beast Titan, they're closing in on turn number 3. If they get, particularly Junkrat should be interested in getting rid of his gems. I honestly don't understand why he didn't just do this. They control the top turn-in spot perfectly. 35 gems in the hands of the damage dealer. You would expect them to go for that. And instead, Junkrat is about to get killed. There it is. They still get the gems. But this is something where I would have really been more comfortable being on this team to just deal with it. Because now the Arca gets targeted. He had the 25 gems and now they lost them. Congratulations. I mean, seriously, why? Like, he has 35 gems. He's right next to the turn-in point. They have full control over it. They know the opponent is away. Why not turn in? There was zero reason to risk this. And this was just dumb. I'm sorry, but there's no real excuse for this. They lost Junkrat. They recovered the gems with the Haka. Blue team sees a chance, moves in, takes it. And, well, that's that. So, yeah, bit unfortunate. Fantastic for the blue team, don't get me wrong. From C8's perspective, this is exactly what they need. They can now try to go for the next Web Weavers. They also destroyed at the bottom of the map 1 fort already. So they're catching up in experience. They're catching up in map control. They could go for another turn in soon TM. They just need a few more gems to get over the threshold. And in the meantime, the red team is hoping for level 20, and they're also trying to stabilize a bit. But this was avoidable, for sure. So, yeah, there it is. But again, 5 kills to 4 now. Blue team is catching up, trying to come back into this. And honestly, kind of makes me happy, because it looked at the start at least like we might see a total stomp here from Team Beast Titan. But yeah, not so much. Either way, right now, what we're getting is the fight over the turn-in point again. As it happens, both teams are getting very close to a turn-in. So a lot of gems were lost to Team Beast Titan, but now they have level 20 talents. And they're still in a spot where they might be the ones getting the next Web Weaver wave. No one can stop death is in, the big red button. Honestly, these level 20s, you want to make sure that you're not fighting into this. So, yeah. Turn-in is happening. There's the Web Weavers. Now the only question is what they can do with this. Because they have the big red button. They really, really want those kills now. They want to keep. This is the only fight that they're getting with Web Weavers and level 20 in their hands over the opponent's team. And it seems like they're focusing on the bot lane for now. Well, mid lane for the time being. Nice connect! Seriously, Capybara and his connects is great. They baited out the ult from Hanzo. So now the heals are coming in. And there's not a lot of tools left for C8 to deal with this. They have the Lightning Breath, but that's about it. Maiev is already up at the top. Dehaka tried for another engage. Couldn't make it happen there. Malthel is down at the bottom of the map. So they're currently attacking with those Web Weavers on 3 lanes. And at least the keep in the middle is going to fall. That's the minimum from the looks of it. Down here, they have to be careful that Malthel doesn't get caught off guard. But the keep in the middle, as expected, is gone. And they want more. They're looking towards the bot lane and they're realizing that they have another chance here to at least do some damage. So, the Web Weavers are all defeated. Top keepers taking damage too. Level 20 soon to be ready for the blue team, for C8. But they're losing heroes! They're about to lose more! This is gonna hurt! This is gonna hurt a lot! Brightwing, Hanzo, all gone. Now they go for Diablo. This is gonna be a disaster. This is rough. If they lose more, they're gonna lose the game. Diablo low, he has a soul stacks, but he gets out. So they can siege up a bit longer if they really want here. It's still a 5-man that they're running, but there's a boss up for grabs at the top side, and that's where they're headed now. Both teams with level 20, but the Dehaka main tank team is doing a great job right now to control the flow of this game and make sure that they are locking in a 2-0 lead. It's looking more and more likely that they have a big advantage for this. So yeah, here we are. They're coming in up at the top. Boss is taken. Blue team still waiting for Brightwing and for Hanzo to be back. And this top side keep, I do not see a world in which they defend it. I just don't. And while this is happening, they're pushing out the middle of the map even further. They're trying to set everything up for the big attack now. In an ideal world, they want to go... Oh, there's the hit. Yeah, Junkrat's trying to help out. There's the lick as well. Dehaka nearly... Oh, Dehaka got absolutely popped. Dehaka got popped. Did they just throw this? Well, Blaze dies too, so that's one hero down on each side. And the top keep is, of course, getting assailed by the boss, so there's that. Yeah, they're jumping in, trying to get a bit more damage done with our boy Malthael in particular, who's currently sitting at 52,000 damage. Boss is on the core. They did a great job taking the Haka down, but I don't think that it's going to be enough. There's just way too much hammering down on the blue team's core now. This is going to be the 2-0 lead. Nicely done. GG, well played. A 2-0 advantage for Team Beast Titan in this best of 5 in the winner bracket. Well, here we are, game number 3. Team Beast Titan. They have taken a 2-0 lead. Vala gets banned again, by the way. And on Alderac Pass, even the Asia server says, you know what, that Lucio guy, we're going to get rid of him. But essentially, we are now in a situation where this could be a 3-0 victory. So Team Beast Titan has stepped it up big time. Really like the way that they're controlling this. Now, they made a couple of mistakes in the second game, particularly the death of Junkrat and then subsequently the Haka, where they lost, I believe it was 25, 35 gems, was totally avoidable. That was not necessary in the slightest. But they still did a great job, particularly in the early game. Keep in mind, Web Weaver Wave number 1 took down 3 forts, which is incredible. And then afterwards, they also made great decisions around bosses and other plays. But yeah, they had a great showing. Game number 1, even a bit close at the beginning, but they coordinate their attacks beautifully. I love the way that they're approaching macro now. And I like that they made it happen even with the Dehaka main tank. So yeah, that was pretty sweet. Now we get Rhaegar as the first pick for C8, and obviously they got to step it up now. If they don't want to drop down into the losers bracket, then they got to win 3 games in a row now and go for the full reverse sweep. Doable, but not easy by any means. And once again, we have Junkrat locked in early for Team Beast Titan. So definitely seeing a bit of a pattern here, the way that they're approaching this. Coming in very early with their Junkrat picks, relying on him very heavily. And with Brightwing, they have another hero that can also globally try to help out teammates and yeah, even stop pushes on certain lanes. But from the blue team, we need something different. We need really something here to turn this around. And they're coming in with Sylvanas, so we already have some pressure. And we have Johanna. I wonder if the Koreans and Chinese players are also opting for Nubarak a bit more often on Alterac Pass, as we see in the European and the North American meta. Because essentially Nubarak is really nice to cheese the prisoner camps, to cheese the objective. All you gotta do is you approach, you spawn a couple beetles, you distract the grunts, and then you start a channel. That really helps you to get a little bit ahead at least. And I want to see if that gets reflected here as well. First of all, Diablo gets banned, so they decided to not take Diablo for themselves, but they still don't want Capybara to play him. So he's already out a couple of tanks, and some really strong ones. Garrosh banned, Diablo banned, Johanna taken. Anubis up. If you want to do like the Europeans do and just cheese the camps, this is your opportunity. But he makes us wait for the final pick before he reveals his main tank. We get Genji instead, together with Junkrat, and we have Leoric now once more. I will also see if he goes into the exact same build with the Ghastly Reach on level 4 again, or if we're getting a variation, him trying to control multiple lanes here. For the blue team, then again, they need to change it up. We talked about it earlier. So, what's the choice? Maiev gets chosen, and we get Illidan. Alright, let's go. Illidan is in the house. Unexpected. Darkmok, is it you? Did Darkmok move or something? What happened here? But yeah, we get Illidan, and we have Maiev as the final two picks. Big map, have the pseudo global as well. And I am more than interested to see how much of an impact he's going to have here. Love myself a good Illidan game. I mean, who doesn't? The final pick, though, it's Capybara, and he goes for the Panda. Illidan against Fat Illidan. Here we go. It's Alterac Pass. Match point number 1 for Team Beast Titan. Match point number 1, C8 trying to turn the tides. We have them now with Illidan, Maiev, the final two picks in the draft. Johanna is going to be the frontliner, and Sylvanas plus Rega round out the draft for the blue team. As over on the right side, the team in the lead with Capybara on the main tank Chen. So after main tank Dehaka, we now get main tank Chen. We have Leoric. We got Junkrat, as usual for them. Brightwing for the heals, and Genji for some extra damage. It's a big map. Mobility reigns supreme here, of course. And Illidan, I love it, Illidan. Illidan is always fun, very enjoyable. The bigger the map, the more space he has, the more havoc he can usually wreak. What you want against him is usually stuns. When you are a Wood League or Plastic League player, you always assume that it's blinds that really counter him, and that's not really true. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you have a blind, that's nice. So it's something that you can use against him, but it's not really a massive counter against Illidan. He can easily play around it. Way more important are stuns, so that you can lock him down completely and then also kill him quickly. And, ooh, a bit of a hiccup. I mean, we're playing all of this out on the Asia server. Blizzard obviously shut down the Chinese server a while ago, and now all of the players are all playing together on the Asia server. But yeah, Fat Illidan, aka Chen, he goes into the Eye of the Tiger on level 1. Illidan with the Unending Hatred as his first choice, so he's going to stack on that single target damage as the game continues, and we've seen very long games on Alterac Pass, so you can get some serious damage connected, and ones that you can chase in the later stages once those forts are removed and maybe a couple of keeps have been gone down as well, you can really do some single target damage and nicely chase targets down one at a time. When it comes to CC, there's honestly not all that much available for the red team. Now, they have, of course, Chen, who can also do some work, but their main source of CC against C8's Illidan is going to be Brightwing, which is always nice. Now, don't get me wrong, but it will be an interesting battle between them. Yeah, Rega trying to get out here. Chen is immediately jumping after him. I like it. So, yeah. But in addition to that, we now have, with the level 4 talents, I guess the Ghastly Reach again. Yep, there it is. And we get the Withering Flames as well. So level 4 is in. And with that, we got our Hunter's Onslaught and also the Earth Living Enchant. So a bit more of a heal here for him too. But up at the top, Leo is already doing some solid work here. Misses the Drain on the other hand, so that's a bit unfortunate, but the gate is down. Now we'll see in just a couple of seconds the first prisoner camp also announced and activated. There's nobody really that can cheese it, so nobody went for a Nubarak here to try and make that work. And Capybara just generally seems to be really enjoying some off-meta main tanks for himself. It worked out with the Haka in game number 2. Can he really make it work with Illidan as with Chen as well? That's the bigger question here. Yeah, so already both teams are going straight for their camp again. You can see they already arrive here even before the camp is fully active. And this is exactly the way that you actually should play it. So in a situation like this, it is kind of important that you're making this happen. It's one of the most important camps on the map. Of course, there's bosses as well that you want to take later. But those haven't spawned yet and will spawn at the 5-minute mark. And in the meantime, everybody is just like dancing around a bit. Could technically also start to make a move for the prisoner camp, but usually it doesn't happen until we're like level 7 to level 10. Something along those lines. So, yeah. But again, Genji gets taken down at the bottom of the map, so that's a bit unfortunate. When Genji gets killed by Rhaegar, you know that something didn't really go well. So nicely done by Reset, and Genji is not happy about that whatsoever. We get the Rapid Chase as the level 7 choice now, and Maiev went into Elun's Wrath. Bit of an attack here in the middle. The Panda had to go down to the bottom of the map to catch the experience. So yeah, Genji definitely has a bit of making up to do here. He needs to redeem himself. A bit unfortunately for the man. But yeah, I can't wait for the team fights and the Chen plays. This is, I believe, the second time now in 2 days that we had Chen as a main tank. And the fun thing here is really just the fact that Capybara made it work with the Haka, so I wouldn't put it past him to make it work with Chen again. They're already interrupting here. This one they could have also hit, but it gave them a bit more than 10 seconds. So it's a freebie. They didn't even have to fight for it. They didn't have to do anything. So they just got themselves a couple of seconds. They can now come in again, try and take these out, see if they go even for an additional channel. I mean, all they gotta do really is just like consistently try and make that work. And Chen is kind of annoying in the sense that you will have a hard time getting a hold of him. So whenever you move in, he can just jump out, at least up to the point where we have level 10 abilities. Once that Wailing Arrow, Blessed Shield, and other things are in play, then of course it becomes a bit more tricky, and he needs to be very careful that he doesn't get disabled, isolated, and killed. But right now, he can definitely be a pain in the butt. Now, already we get at the top, talking about pain in the butt, the drain from Leoric. And Leo, look at him, gets Sylvanas down to half health. So a girl didn't like that at all. And Chen is again here, so this is just buying some time for them. He's just walking out of this. Fat Illidan, you can't hold him down. No, he's a free spirit. He's a free and a fat spirit. Level 10, nearly in. And then those moves are going to become a bit more rare, I would assume. I don't really think that he's going to do that against Blessed Shield, Wailing Arrow follow-up, and probably a disc from Maiev. That would really shock me. So don't see that happening. Rhaegar again! They're coming in and they're getting a kill. Reset is just not respecting one-on-ones today, is he? Comes in, gets the kill for them. That's 2 kills to 0 for C8. So apparently they woke up now. Yeah, Leo, of course, will be back very quickly, so that's the good news for them. They're not losing too much time. But here comes the barrel. They're trying for Illidan, and they get him. Attacking the blind man over here. Absolutely unacceptable. That's insane. That's a hate crime somewhere for sure. That rip tire was also a hate crime, by the way. That didn't do anything, so it didn't connect that. But a good barrel. Only top shelf plays from our boy Chen over here. So yeah, and woo, they're going for another one. Yeah, bye-bye Sylvanas. Nice knowing you. So Sylvanas is gone too. That's 2 kills for 2. And all of a sudden, the red team is the one making the plays. They're getting the objective. Yep, well done. They already opened up the mid lane wall. And just as it seemed like C8 might finally gain some momentum here and make their plays, it is instead the exact opposite that we're witnessing here. It is Team Beast Titan that just turns it around on a dime once again and just says, you know what, boys, we don't like this. Winning is more fun. Let's start to do that again. And they pull ahead in experience. And that's even without the cavalry making a move here. Or the thing is, what do they call it? Raiders. Yeah. Cavalry for the blue team, Raiders for the red team. Shouldn't be able to do too much damage here, but a bit of damage on those forts. You know what? Maybe they can even take one down. Up at the top, they rotated very well to zone Sylvanas and Rhaegar both away from this. Nice attempt to take Rhaegar down. That didn't work, but now they're getting Sylvanas into this. And if she doesn't get a wave soon... Oh, they switched it! They swapped over to Rhaegar, and now Reset is gone. Nice. All eyes on Sylvanas, and then they were, you know what? That dog has been super annoying, and I'm a cat guy anyways. So they came in and took him down. Well done. I don't think Reset saw that coming either. He also thought that they were fully focused on Sylvanas, and then they just beautifully shifted targets and took him on. So level 13 is in, and they get a second fort. So once again, a fantastic first objective by Team Beast Titan. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, with the first Web Weaver wave, they were able to take down 3 forts. Here on Aldrich Pass, they take out 2 forts, pull ahead with level 13 talents, and this is just looking great. Now, we have Hunt for Illidan, and he also completed his level 1. Obviously, he's going to stack that auto attack damage further than that, but time will tell how much of an impact Samira is going to have in the late game. At least for now, he is still stacking things on the auto attacks, can join these fights fairly quickly. The fort in the middle is incredibly low too, so not much to be done here. Disc is out, Illidan will join in a moment. Illidan should join that fight. Capybara is far out of the battle. Okay, trying to save Leo, and Blessed Shield is now out as well. Chen, they should really think how many people they want to lose here, because Brightwing and Leo are already gone. The rest of the team saves themselves, and Chen should probably not stay here too long either, because he is pretty low too. And yep, there's the tether, and that's nearly a kill. I mean, they're honestly asking for it at this point, so... good moves by C8 to take the momentum in this fight. And this is, of course, also what Illidan does best. Riptire there takes the wave out. Nicely done. Might even save them the fort. Good job. Can they go for Illidan here? Nah, not quite. And the disc is out again. Brightwing is ready. Capybara still alive. He played a very dangerous game, but it worked for him. Never retreated, never went back. Nearly died twice. But now they are the ones that can poke again from a distance, and they're hoping to take that fort down. And they're getting incredibly close to do exactly that. So yes, here it is. Nicely done. All forts now gone. Catapult pressure, lane control are going to be nice for them. Oh, Junkrat. Oh, he gets out. Damn, son. Just as Illidan came in flying. Full Superman pose here. He went full Henry Cavill on us on this one. But didn't get the kill. They have more kills though, 4 kills to 3, but it's the structures that at the end of the day matter. And let's not forget that with all of the experience for Team Beast Titan, they're also inching closer and closer to level 16 talents, and those are usually the big ones. Channel is about to happen. Gets interrupted for a second, but more poke against Jojo, so that's already annoying. And this time they will get the channel completed. So off we go, 40 seconds. Brightwing over on the right side, so they are getting their own camp. Level 16, as mentioned, any moment now. And this is looking very good once again. If they with level 16 are now able to claim this objective, oh, I mean, we're 11 minutes in, maybe they could get a keep here. That would, of course, already remove armor shields from the opponent. And if they can end the game early, that would make things so much harder for Illidan too. He's a late game hero. He wants to be in the late game. He wants those forts destroyed. Distance to safety is big. If he can chase you all game long, then that's his comfort zone. And if then he stacks his level 1 properly and gets a lot of auto attack damage out of it, then that's great too. It's 16 versus 16. They're coming in once again with a bit more damage. Marked for death for Illidan now. Nice Entomb blocking the path of Jojo. Ancestral had to be used. Illidan in the back. Gets attacked. They have also a disc out on Chen, but he's just kecking away from it. Yeah, I used the keck, I think, already before that disc even connected. So once again, they're going for him, trying to take Capybara out. They might be able to pull it off too. Brightwing with some additional heals. Raiders are in now. Fights continue. Jojo is doing her best to keep them all under control. But those Raiders are doing work, not only here in the middle, but also at the bottom of the map. So they're breaking through this once again, starting to take the towers down. 44,000 damage for Genji, 38,000 for Sylvanas. And Illidan is already down at the bottom of the map, trying to do his thing right here. Gets attacked. Junkrat says hello. They're getting another tower destroyed. And again, it's early in the game, so those Raiders are not that strong, but they're strong enough to open some opportunities up for later in the game. Walls have been taken down. Towers are falling. The disc is missing. Illidan is joining in another second. There's the hunt into the back. Maiev is gone, though. It's a 5 versus 4 now in favor of Team Beast Titan. And they want more. Genji! Genji! Oh, and he dies. Genji is gone. They keg a little bit too late. They're trying to keep Illidan away so that they can move out here easily. And I'm not sure they can. Illidan is again at the front. There's another Poli. And they take him down. They want him and they get him. Mace to the face. Leo swinging for the fences. Going full MLB on us here as he's hitting it hard. And they're taking down Sylvanas next. This turned way too quickly. 4 heroes dead. Maiev about to come back, but there's the chance to go and drop the 8 points on the keep. And this is what they are doing right now. Awesome. Job well done. They turned the fight as Illidan was hoping to chase them. He saw an opportunity. He saw a situation in which he could finally use his chase abilities, but instead they turned it on him and they took him down. Now, they didn't greed for the keep. They didn't take it, but they were able to do a lot of damage, and it also allowed that top wave to take another tower down. So all of these lanes are essentially opened up, with the bot lane in particular having a very low keep, and they are already going for the boss at the bottom of the map, and there's just no way for C8 to contest this. This boss should destroy the keep. And with that said, there is a chance to go for another prisoner camp, so they can leave the boss at the bottom and then go for the camp and get another wave. Can come in and take another one down here. So yeah, nicely done. Very well controlled, and of course on top of this now level 20. But they're forced into a fight. Level 20 is ready, but Junkrat isn't here yet. He's now coming. There's another keg play from Chen. What can they do here? There's a bit of a Hail Mary from... Oh, beautiful Entomb. Holy shit, that was good. Fantastic Entomb from Leoric. It catches 2, and that might just be the end of things. What an exceptional play here. They're taking the fight. It was a pretty desperate approach from C8. They wanted this fight. They tried to come back into it, and then Leoric just shuts them down with a beautiful Entomb and says, not on my watch. But this is, of course, also stretching it a little bit, what they're doing here. With only 1 armor shield removed to go for the boss, that's quite the statement. And it oftentimes backfires, but they get the kill on Maiev, and I think that seals the deal. 5-man team wipe. Everybody gone, and that is game and match. Well done. What a great performance by Team Beast Titan as they win winner bracket semifinal number 1 and move on to the winner bracket final. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.